Hi there, we're here today with Tim Porter. He's a firefighter for Novi Fire Department. How's it going, Mr. Porter? Thanks so much for your time. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about your occupation as a firefighter.
Sure.
To start, how difficult is it to become a firefighter? What type of training?
The fire department requires you to be certified in the levels 1 and 2, Fire 1 and 2, which most fire departments require Fire 1 and 2, and also the EMS requirement, which is Emergency Medical.
Gotcha.
And that typically is about a year program, and typically 3 days a week for 1 year to get you through all the training.
Okay. And how does shifts work? How long are they?
In Novi, we have our shifts are 12-hour shifts. We either work from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
And we full-time guys work 12-hour shifts 4 days a week.
Wow. Okay. Some days busier than others?
Yeah, definitely. Depends on the amount of activity in the community. You know, if there's a fire, obviously, it's...
yeah, maybe on holidays and whatnot, too.
Yeah, holidays, New Year's Eve. But certain days, if there's a fire, then obviously we're going to be real busy.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of our runs, though, are medical runs. Probably 80% of our runs are medical runs, and it depends on winters. Actually, we're going to have more activity than in the summer, just due to people being sick.
Okay. What would you say the most difficult aspect of your job is?
Probably the emotional part. We see a lot of stuff. We see, you're going to see death. You're going to see people being, at their worst point. When they call us, they're having probably their worst day. So we see people at their worst, and that's probably the hardest part, just seeing the suffering and the amount of pain that people go through.
Definitely. How's being a firefighter impacted you in your day-to-day life?
I think it's obviously it's made me more humble, made me more thankful for good health, for family being safe, because we do see a lot, and
being exposed to that. Yeah,
and it does definitely plays on your mental aspect, and just the fact that that I'm healthy and my kids are healthy and family's good. It's made me more humble.
Yeah. What type of role do you guys play in the community, along with police officers?
Well, fire, we are we're both fire and EMS, so we do a lot of medical runs. Like I said, we are the first responders.
So even car accidents and whatnot.
Yeah, car accidents. Even lift assist. If somebody falls in their house, they'll call us to come and lift them, put them back up in their bed, chair, whatever it might be. But we're the first responders. We're usually the first ones on the scene. Obviously the police are always involved. If we go into a situation where we're not sure of the safety of the scene, the police will go in first and secure the scene for us before we go in.
Gotcha. How does it feel to know that you're such a big impact in the community? Does it give you a sense of pride or anything like that?
Yeah, I think obviously you feel good about helping people.
Yeah, what you're doing. Yeah,
and you get into this line of work because you enjoy helping people. So I think that part is just knowing that I can give a little back.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes me feel good.
What type of equipment do you guys wear when going into fires?
Our equipment, we call it turnout gear. It's really personal protection equipment, PPE.
Yeah.
And it's it's a jacket. We wear a hood, helmet, gloves, boots. Everything's fire tested. There's probably about 70 different tests that the equipment goes through to pass before
it can be used out in the field.
Before it's used, yeah. And probably the biggest test that they do is tested at 500 degrees for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
so after the 5 minutes, you can't really be in a house any longer than that.
You could, yeah, but this is just direct exposure at 500 degrees, and the equipment can't melt, it can't ignite, it can't, so it has to hold its integrity for at least 5 minutes at that temperature.
Firefighters that are at the station, are they all licensed to drive the fire trucks? How does that work?
Yeah, we go through rigorous testing once you become get onto the department, we have 4 stations in Novi, so we have 4 different trucks, and then we also have a ladder. We've got rescues. We also have a tanker, and a tanker is used if we go into an area that doesn't have fire hydrants.
Okay.
So we bring in our tanker.
Does that happen often, or?
No, there's several areas in Novi that doesn't have fire hydrants.
Okay.
So we have a tanker that would hold about 2,500 gallons of water that would come along. So we have to be knowledgeable in driving.
Can that tanker alone put the fire out, or will that not do it?
No, I mean, it depends on the fire. It will obviously help us out. Our trucks hold anywhere from 750 to 1,000 gallons, and it will definitely help, but depending on the size of the fire, 2,500 gallons, if you're running multiple lines, might last you 4 or 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's training for driving the fire trucks.
Yep. Yeah, we go through rigorous training. We do testing every year. We call it serpentine testing, where we go through pylons. We have to.
That's renewed every year.
Every year, yeah. We have to go through training every year to pass. Yep.
Gotcha. And lastly, how many firefighters go in the truck when you guys go on calls?
Depends on the time. Now at night, if it's on a night shift, there's only 2 guys working at night. During the day, it can be 2 to 4 guys at a station.
Okay, so if a fire were to come along and only the 2 are working, then you just send those 2 out?
Yeah, they would too, and then they would tone out the other stations, and they would come, and depending on the size of the fire.
Extra assistance.
Yeah, they might tone out other communities. We call it mutual aid. Northville helps us out a lot. Walled Lake, South Lyon. So we've got several different communities we can call if we need help.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Porter, for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Nick. Thanks for coming in.
Yep. Have a good one. Take care.